I'm Julia.
Christy. Okay, so we're talking about That Sik Luv by Jescie Hall.
I'm super excited for this one.
Me too.
Super excited.
I've been sitting on this
For what, 3 days?
Yeah. Just mentally processing everything that happened. It is a lot to unpack. Yeah, I finished it like 3-4 days ago and I'm still contemplating what happened. Like, it just makes you really think.
I was hoping to read this book before we did the episode, but I chose to read Unhinged instead.
Like,
I wanted us to do a book together and it didn't happen.
we still both read Unhinged books, just different, a little different.
Yes, yours wasn't about a girl fucking her doorknob.
No. But there's some pretty fucked up shit that they do in this one, so...
I'm excited. So we're not doing a spoiler-free review within the podcast anymore.
Mm-mm.
So it's just all spoils.
Yeah, we're diving straight in. So
Mm-hmm.
if you don't want to be spoiled, go read the book and then come back.
Okay, so what triggers, tropes, content warnings should anyone be aware about that we might be discussing? No, not might. That we will be discussing today as part of this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Okay.
I probably haven't even got all of the triggers and content warnings, to be honest. That this book, definitely check before you read it. I read some pretty fucked shit, but even this, at some points, I was like,
I have the biggest smile on my face. Face right now.
We all know that you and both of us, we see content and trigger warnings and it's like a checklist for how good this book's going to be. We're like, tick, 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 I'm going to read it.
The more content warnings, the more triggers, the more unhinged a book, the more we want to read it.
Yeah, that was this one. We've got stalking, we've got spitting, a lot. We've got degradation, C&C.
Consensual non-consent.
There's more than one of that as well. Mm-hmm. There's a lot. So if that's a trigger for you, don't read it. We've got age gap, exhibitionism, voyeurism, breath play, gun play, knife play, blood play, primal play, BDSM, filthy language, and extreme explicit scenes.
Amazing.
Emphasis on extreme, all caps.
What a list.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't even think that's all of it. I didn't really research that far into the content warnings. I was just like, these are a few.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when it came to, I guess, your rating on the spicy scenes, is it a 5 out of 5
Yes.
for you? Fantastic.
Yes, it has definitely unlocked some new kinks.
Ooh. Liam, are you listening to this?
New player unlocked.
Ding! New achievement unlocked.
Yes, that's what I was going for.
So you gave this book 5 out of 5 for spice.
Mm-hmm.
What about, I guess, star rating for overall story?
5 out of 5.
Fantastic.
If there was a higher rating system, I'd rate it 100 out of 5. I don't know. It was just so well written, and I didn't expect it going into it.
Mm-hmm.
Just how the book is portrayed, just like from the description, you're kind of like, okay, you know, stalker romance, it's gonna be fucked up, whatever. No, like, there is so many dark themes woven in, like organized religion, like sexism in the church, and it's just a lot of fucked up shit. I didn't actually technically read the book. I listened to it.
That's right.
On Audible. I had some credits and I was like, why not? I'll give this a go. Like, wow, I'm so excited. I was like, why not? I'll give this a go.
You're getting yourself flustered.
Literally, I'm just so shook. So, you got two main characters.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the female character, Bryony. And then you've got the male character, Arrow.
Bryony and Arrow.
So reading the book, it gave me Harley Quinn Joker sort of vibes.
Ooh, okay.
Without it, obviously, like just because Arrow has got a lot of trauma, deep down rooted issues, and he is fucking messed up. So like Joker vibes, it's just nuts. And then Bryony is like, you think she's the good girl, like she's so sheltered, she's grown up, you know, church girl, you know, very strict upbringing in the sense of, you know, you don't talk about sex, you're not even allowed to touch yourself or anything, like it's a sin, you will go to hell. Like she hasn't explored anything. She knows nothing. Obviously things change. So, you know, it's labeled as a stalker romance. So essentially Arrow is a murderer with like a hidden past.
Okay.
So he's locked away in jail. He gets bailed out by Alistair, who is a politician of this town. He's dirty. He pays people to do fucked up shit for him. He wants someone gone, he'll organise a hit without getting his hands dirty. So Arrow's essentially hired to kill Bryony.
Oh, okay.
For the church.
For the church. Why
the
do
church.
they want her dead?
So the main bad guy, Callum Westwood, he's like a known figure of this town. He's filthy rich. He's a fucking prick. High up in the churches, he's got his hand in their pockets, you know?
Okay.
Or they've got their hands in his pockets. You know what I mean?
It's dirty.
Yeah, it's bad. And he's got a son named Saint, who, yeah, fucking dumb. So he goes to school with Bryony.
Of like high school or college?
I think it's high school. She's 18 in the book. And she's teaching classes. It's a bit hard to tell. And there's like a whole twist that I'll get to. It was a bit confusing in that sense. So I don't actually know if she's taking classes or she's like finished and she's just teaching classes.
But either way, she's over the age of 18.
Yeah, she's 18 on the dot. It's okay.
Cool.
So both her and Saint are essentially competing to become bishop one day.
Okay.
But
Interesting.
she's a first for the church. It's a male-dominated world. So they have this rank, essentially, that they're being initiated into, called a Magnum Princeps. And she's the first woman to ever challenge it and be like, well, I'm going to compete for this. Why can't I? And there's nothing saying that she can't. So they're like, well, no. And Callum is like, my son should be bishop, not some girl.
Okay, yes. I don't like him.
Yeah, he's a fucking cunt. He gets so much worse.
And is this how I guess it leads to him wanting her dead?
Yeah, because she won't step down. He goes to Alistair and goes, can you hook me up? Can you organise a hit on Bryony? And he goes, yeah, I can. I'll bail this guy out of jail. He's fucked up. He'll get the job sorted. In comes Arrow. So he stalks her for a bit. He, like, you know, gets into her house. She never sees his face. He leaves her notes of the Bible that fall into his sick game.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, and will like write over it in red, just little notes for her with a rose, and he'll leave it around so she'll wake up to this. She doesn't tell anyone about it. She's got a stalker, and she's just like, oh, okay.
What? She's attracted to this?
No, but she's just like,
or...
I'm just gonna see where this goes. He hasn't hurt me.
Okay.
Nothing bad's happened yet.
Girl, Girl, it's
I was like,
I feel like it's horror movie 101.
Literally.
You need to tell someone about the stalker.
yes! Like, she's got a brother who comes over like nearly every day. She says nothing. She's got a best friend. She mentions like a few things, but she tames it down. Like, even when things get fucked up, she tames it down so this friend doesn't really worry. But also, shit friend, to be honest. So stalks her. He becomes obsessed. Like, he goes there for the job to kill her, but like, you know, watch her, figure out the best move to kill her without anyone finding out, essentially. Then he's intrigued by her. He doesn't want to kill her. He wants to encourage her desires and awaken her to the world that she's in, because she's very sheltered. She doesn't know what's going on in the church. She doesn't know that she's got a hit out on her. She just thinks she's pissed off the men, but she's going to do it and they're just going to allow it. She doesn't know any better. So he kind of formulates this plan to open her eyes up to the real world, the sick reality of organized religion. Which I wasn't expecting going into this book.
No.
Like, I knew there was religious themes.
See, I haven't even read the back of the book. I don't know anything.
I thought it was just going to be like priest, like just a little bit of religion in there, but no, like this is...
Look, you've got my attention for a very interesting story.
Yeah. And like, obviously, like what we were just saying about how she's intrigued, like she's curious, she wants to see what happens next, I guess.
I feel like that's so dumb, because what happened next could end up with her being dead.
Exactly. So it delves a lot into Arrow's past. Like, he's got a lot of shit that happened to him, but also like there's a whole bunch of twists with Bryony that Arrow knows, and he wants to let her figure it out for herself. Like, he sees her for more than what she portrays. She's stronger than she looks.
Okay. So with him, I guess, knowing this depth to Bryony, is that from him
Stalking her.
Yeah, stalking, doing his research on her before approaching her?
He stalks her for a long time. It doesn't actually say how long for. But he essentially watches over her for a long time before he's even hired, it sounds like.
Oh, okay.
And then he takes the
like
job.
Before he goes to jail?
I don't know.
It's vague.
It's very vague. Like, you find that out near the end, and you're kind of like, oh, he's been watching her this whole time. But then, how does it work? I don't know, but I don't care because it's fucking brilliant. Saint has like always bullied Bryony as well in school. He was always just a cunt to her because of her challenging gender norms. His dad like being like, no, she's the worst, she's the devil, she's Satan. And like everyone in town kind of gives her shit as well, because her family is like, her mum, dad and brother are like, you know, blonde hair, blue eyes, and she's black hair, blue eyes or something. Like,
so she's slightly different.
Yeah, and the church even are like, she's spawn of Satan, like, because she's different. Like, it's fucking weird. This town's fucking cool.
So they don't understand how genetics work?
Yeah, but there's a twist.
Okay.
It's not really her parents.
What?
Yeah,
What?
that was a spoiler. Yeah.
So she's
Aaron knows.
She's adopted?
Yeah, but not like officially adopted. The church did her dirty because her parents couldn't have any more kids, and their son, her brother, not real brother, he's older, he doesn't want to follow in the footsteps of the church. He thinks it's all fucked and goes on his own way. So they're like, well, we'll just start again, but they can't have any more children. So they go to the church, and church is just like, oh, here you go, have this baby. Don't know where it's come from. The church knows where it's come from, where it has come from. They just fucking take this kid. I'm like, what? Yeah.
So the church has stolen somebody's baby?
Yeah.
given them to this family.
Yeah, and
because
it like their own.
the brother or her brother
Yeah,
hasn't wanted to pursue
yeah,
a life within the church.
yeah, yeah,
What the fuck?
yeah. Like, it is so messed up on so many levels. There's so many things in it. But yeah, so Saint hates her.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody really likes her, essentially. The start of the book is her being essentially like initiated into this Magnum Princess role.
Mm-hmm.
And there's supposed to be this whole not party, whole ceremony
Okay.
for a whole bunch of them that have been initiated into this role. And it's kind of like a baptism. You know, they get dunked in the water, they come up, that's them becoming their new role.
Yeah.
Saint and the Westwood family don't show up
Why?
because they think it's not right that a woman is doing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they're protesting her being initiated
Yeah.
by not being there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it gets to the part where she's getting baptized in the water, and the scene is she's getting drowned. The deacon is drowning her, and
Oh,
nobody
shit.
does anything.
They're just
And
watching.
she's, you know, seeing the light, she's about to pass out, and then the church is on fire. Like, this is all in like the first couple of chapters, like after she realizes she's a stalker, and she thinks that it's the stalker trying to kill her, but it's actually the deacon. And Arrow had set the church on fire to stop him from killing her. Yeah.
I'm speechless.
Yeah.
My jaw has just hit the floor at the whiplash I'm
Yeah.
experiencing right now.
Yeah. And everyone's like, whoa, whoa. And the deacon's just like, oh, I got distracted from the fire or whatever, even though he was doing it before the fire started because he's a piece of shit. He wanted to kill her. And they had organized a hit. And then, yeah, they just palm it off as it was all an accident, and she thinks none the fucking wiser. She just thinks it's a stalker or whatever. And then Saint's having this party at his house to celebrate. He must have done his own, like, ceremony with the church separately. Yeah. Ugh.
Red flags.
And she goes to this party to kind of show them she won't step down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's gonna go into that role. Fuck you guys. And she goes, and Saint starts to hit on her.
What?
Yeah, he's bullied her this whole time. He hates her, but now he's being nice, and he's like, oh, you know, my father's always made me, but, you know, now that I'm a Magnum Princess, you know, he says he likes her without saying he likes her, sort of thing.
Does
like
he think he's entitled to her in some way? Or
Yeah.
Alright.
She's a woman. She's a good church woman. She can be his obedient wife, I guess. I don't fucking know. It's just weird. And she's like weirded out because like he's hot, obviously, but then all of this past has happened, and his father clearly hates her. Like, it's just, I don't know what she was thinking.
Confusing.
And yeah, she's confused. She's like, what's going on? And then that's when Arrow, it's the first time that she sees him, essentially. He corners her in like a room, and she's pushed up against the wall. He's like in her ear, and he's like, he whispers something to her. I don't know. I can't even remember. He's all very cryptic, and he doesn't make sense at the start. But as you keep reading, it starts to fall into place. Like, he has this plan. He's brilliantly written. The next day, Saint drives her to school. He like offers to drive her, and she
Okay.
says yes because they're teaching the same class.
Okay.
Even though they're supposed to be one teaching a class, they think because she's a woman, she needs a male to supervise her teaching the class.
Alright.
Like,
Okay.
this book made me so mad.
She's facing a lot of backlash just for...
Yeah, being a chick.
That makes me angry.
Yeah, it gets worse.
Oh no.
And he's being all nice, and the kids are starting to roll in, and then he realizes, oh, we don't have enough books for the class. Are you able to go to the storeroom and get extra books?
Sounds simple.
So she does. She goes into the supply closet to get the books, and in walks a figure. It's not Arrow.
Okay.
It's one of Saint's friends, Jacob. He's gonna kill her.
Really?
Yeah, he like shoves her up against like the stack of books or something. I think he might have a gun or a knife, I can't remember. He has some form of weapon and he's ready to kill her, and he's like, no, fuck you, you bitch, how dare you confront the church or something, like. And she's scared. She also has a knife hidden
Okay.
under
I
her
like her,
skirt that Arrow had left in her room the night before, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like a little switchblade, and she puts it up to his throat.
Okay. You just twizzled
I know.
like a fucking wand.
America. And essentially he's just like, don't you fucking touch me. Like, I love her. Arrow's outside listening to this whole thing. He doesn't step in. He's just listening. He knows that she is strong and she can handle herself. He eventually, he must like open the door or something. And Jacob's just like, oh my God, help me. This chick is crazy. She's trying to kill me. And Arrow is just like laughing. And he's just like, oh no, like, I'm not going to help you. And
Like, she can clearly take care of herself.
yeah, but then she's also in shock. And I think Arrow brings Jacob to one of the desks, because it's kind of like in a library sort of situation, puts his hand down, and I think he chops off a finger.
Good.
Or a hand.
Good.
He chops off some extremity that
Good.
touched her.
He doesn't need it.
Yeah. I'm like, yes. And she's just dead, like, stop, like, you what are you doing? Like, are you gonna kill him? And I was like, yeah. I'm like,
course I
he
am.
touched you. And he has this thing that wherever anyone touches her, he will lick. He will lick the harm away, essentially, or lick the dirtiness away. Like, he needs to clean her.
Alrighty.
Yeah, new key unlocked. When
So-
Saint, like, I think he like holds her hand or something in the party. He like licks her hand, he licks her neck, like, yeah. So with Jacob, I think he must have like grabbed her by the throat. I think he manhandled her. He was about to kill her. So Arrow licks where he's touched.
Her throat. I'm having that ding kink unlocked.
This better not awaken anything in me.
She's like, don't kill him, what are you doing? This is so wrong. Like, she's trying to, the wheels are turning, and Arrow's just like, get out of here. And she leaves. I think she goes back to the class and pretends nothing happened. Before she goes, Arrow says, watch his face. Like, he leaves cryptic little message, like, watch his face.
Watch his face.
Yeah.
Who's he referring to?
Saint. So she goes back to the room, but Saint is normal. Because you're kind of thinking, did Saint organise this? You don't know whether to trust him or not. It's confusing. Like, even you're confused while you're reading it. You're like, I don't know if I trust you. I don't trust Arrow. He's a killer. He's a stalker. He's fucked up. Like, and Saint drives her home, and he goes in for a kiss, and then a brick flies through the window of his car.
Shit.
She's like, it's Arrow. Saint's just like, oh, it's nothing. It's probably just some kids. And
Is he still trying to like go back for this kiss?
no, he like picks up the brick and he reads something on it. And she's like, what's on the brick? And his face is just leached of colour. He hides the brick. Yeah, watch his face. And so she's just like, I can't trust this guy.
I feel like I am experiencing whiplash
Yeah, it gets
just
worse.
through your descriptions of
It's so
these
unhinged.
scenes. like I don't know who to trust right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect. Like, I kind of know there's going to be something between Bryony and Arrow, but how do they get to that point?
Yeah.
And okay, continue.
Yeah,
I need to know.
There's just the whole time you don't know what's gonna happen. There's a lot of scenes where you're just like, I don't know. But then she likes it, so it's like she wants it.
So she was a virgin at the start of this book.
Mm-hmm.
Is she kind of experiencing, it's not like Stockholm syndrome, but it's like the hero, similar to what people who get rescued by like firemen and policemen experience in
Because
idolizing their savior.
she
But
does to be like, when she's like, oh, he's a stalker before anything happens, you can tell that it's kind of like, oh. But then when he starts doing shit, she's just like, this man is fucked up. Like, why am I giving into this? Why do I like this? Why? Like, you can hear her questioning everything that happens. Like, her wheels are turning. But then she's also intrigued. He's like opening her up to a world she didn't know.
Mhm.
Oh, new world.
Oh no.
Growing up in the church, you know, that's wrong. You can't think like that. That's a sin. But she's had these thoughts this whole time.
Mhm.
You kind of, as you're reading the book,
Like
she's
sexual thoughts.
Yeah, she's thought about touching herself. She's thought about sleeping with a man and doing different things, but she doesn't know where to start. And Arrow is into some kinky shit.
You're speechless.
I really am. Like, I was listening to this in my car most of the time, like driving to and from work, and just being like, what just happened? Like, I still haven't processed all of the things that he does.
Okay.
Essentially, what happens? I think Saint goes to her house after the incident with the car and all that to comfort her. They kiss in her kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Ari films it. She doesn't know this. Films them kissing. They don't just kiss. They get like touchy-feely, but that's it. And then Saint is just like, oh my God, what have I done? Like, acting like the good guy. I can't do this. Like, it's against church. This is a sin. How can I take advantage of you? And he leaves. And she's like, oh, more. And in steps Arrow. He's been there the whole time. And he licks her mouth. He licks her tongue. He licks her neck. He licks everywhere. It's fucking hot. And the next day she goes to school.
Yep.
Saint's being weird. He won't talk to her. Someone's graffitied across the front of the school in like red spray paint, Saint is Bryony's bitch, and released the tape of them as if Bryony had done it. Yeah. And the deacon, so he's like the head of the school or something, he's like, I want to see you in my office at this time, you know, you're in trouble. And she's just thinking like, how could Ari do this to me? Like, this has ruined everything. Like, the church is not gonna, they're gonna do something. They're not
Like
gonna allow her.
Saint's gonna walk away
Yeah.
from this with like a slap on the wrist,
Yeah.
but she's going to be deeply punished.
Yeah. She ends up going to the deacon's office at that time, and she can hear crying in the room. And she's like, what's going on? And she kind of is like, do I go in? Are they okay in there? Curiosity gets the best of her. She opens that door and she finds that deacon with his pants down and a boy. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Boy ends up leaving crying. And the deacon, she's just like, what are you doing? Like, confronts him. And he's just like, what do you mean? I'm just showing the boy how to appease the church, appease God, or it's
Something
fucked up. Like, I was so fucking disgusted when I read that. And that's when she kind of clicks. The church is fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Arrow is right.
Yep.
He's set all of this up. So
Yeah.
she would go to the office and see that, so that she would click and be like, maybe organized religion isn't all it's cracked up to be. She has to go to another party thing. I think it's at Saint's house again, but it's like I don't know, but they have to wear masks. And she goes to Saint's date. After this whole scenario, even though she wants to avoid, like, everyone's going to be there, the deacon's going to be there, like, everyone of the influential is going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, I think she wants to confront him again and be like, no, like, what you did was wrong, like, but then she can't take it to anyone at the same time because they're all in each other's pockets. So she's trying to think about how she can combat this, I guess.
Expose them?
Yeah. And so she goes to this party, a Saint's date, and she sees Arrow like hiding somewhere, and so she goes to him, and he takes her into this room, like, follow me, and he has like a whole plan, but he has his belt.
Okay.
He ties it around her neck like a leash.
Yep.
Tells her to take her dress off.
Oh.
Get down on all fours. She's naked. And he sits in like a chair, sits back. He says, turn around. Crawl to that desk. And she's just like, I'm not doing that. But she's freaked the fuck out. She's like, this guy, I've seen him kill. He killed Jacob. He also buried Jacob in her backyard as leverage.
Shit. Yep.
She is just like, I'm not doing that. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He gets out a gun, puts it to her head, and he goes, crawl. So she does.
Yeah.
She crawls to the desk. He gives her a safe code. There's a safe under the desk. He says, open the safe.
Uh-huh.
She opens the safe. He says, remove that envelope. She removes the envelope. Crawl back to me, I think with it in her mouth. She does.
What's in the envelope?
You find out later on. You don't even know. We have a cat. Hey, baby.
He has nails. Holy fuck.
He's fine. He's so chill.
Okay.
Just pat him aggressively. See?
Okay, what were we talking about?
Yeah, so she crawls back to him.
Oh, that's right. She was
Yeah.
crawling.
And he picks up the leash. Get on your knees. Tells her she's a sweet, that's my good, sweet, obedient girl. Mm-hmm.
Does she have a praise kink?
I don't know, but I fucking do read that book.
With that book or with Joe Arden saying,
Yeah.
be a good girl?
Joe Arden, if you listen to this, please call me a good girl. But he then fucks her throat.
Ooh.
And new to this. She obviously has a gag reflex. He don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I think he must actually get the belt with her arms back at one point.
Yeah.
Because she can't do anything. He
Okay.
fucks her throat. She's crying. She's got tears streaming down her face.
Okay, so he fucks her throat.
Yeah.
Forcefully.
Crying, makeup streaming. He's, saying about how he loves seeing her with tears streaming down her face. He then comes on her face.
Okay.
He then, taking the cum, I make the sign of the cross on her forehead. Says something like, you've been baptized by your God. I don't fucking know. He says something. Puts some back into her mouth and makes her swallow. And then he says to her, get dressed, go back to the party. He is leaving. But he says, be my good girl and kiss your prince tonight with my cum still clinging to your lips.
And he's talking about the other guy.
Saying, yeah. Yeah.
Does she?
Yeah. 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 See what I mean? This whole book. That's
Yep.
just one scene. That's a tame scene.
Yep.
Fast forward, she starts to find out all this fucked up shit. The church is getting sick of Arrow not taking his hit. He ends up taking Bryony away to his home in
As
like
in,
the
like,
middle of the forest
Arrow?
Mhm.
Okay.
to get her away from it because they're about to kill her.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to protect her. She's his. So much happens in between all of that, but I'm trying to wrap it up.
Yeah. Okay, so clearly this sounds like it's a absolutely fucked up romance.
Oh, it's so fucked.
I wouldn't even know if I could call it romance at this point. Some fucked up sexual activities happen, I suppose.
Yeah, so many activities. There's a primal scene where he chases her through the forest and then fucks her in the ass.
Well. Wait. Have you ever watched that? Is this video? I forget the actor's name, but the song goes, "Fuck me in the ass 'cause I love Jesus." All right, I'm just gonna have to link it. I guess.
Yes,
our
we're
TikTok.
gonna add that in.
Fuck me in the ass because I love Jesus.
Yeah, he does a lot of vile things, like my dirty slut letting me do these vile things to you. You're a filthy little doll taking cock so deep in your ass. Like, the biggest thing is he says, you're a woman without a voice, Bryony. Let me be the throat through which you scream.
Holy shit.
Like, there are so many deep, meaningful things he says, but that I was just like. And so yeah, he takes her to his home to protect her, but she's also just like, no, like, yeah, this is.
Does she want to be there?
Yes, by that point, but also she's still questioning because he's still like, he obviously has feelings for her and she has feelings for him, but he's also so fucked up. The things he does to her, like he trains her.
What do you mean by trains
putting a gag in her mouth that is like 4 inches of dick and keeps that on her while he fucks her to train her to not have a gag reflex because he wants to fuck her throat.
Okay.
He likes pain.
Yep.
She likes to fight. There's a point where she finds a knife while he's fucking her and she cuts his arm and he makes her lick it to heal his harm. Like, there's so many weird things. There's so many things. I was like, oh, okay. So he takes her there to get her away from it all, but also to help train her. He like antagonizes her and pushes her buttons, pushes her to her limits to kind of get that anger out of her because she's so used to penting everything up inside.
Yeah.
He trains her in like, throwing knives and attacking because they're going to go ruin the church. They're going to go kill the deacon.
Yeah.
All of this. Oh, I forgot a part.
Okay.
There's a part where she goes to see the deacon, I think, or the another church
Some
figure,
church dude.
and she has to go to the confessional and confess her sins. Arrow is in the confessional. She like sits on his lap, and she's like, and he's like, you know, be quiet, trust me. And the Pope dude or whatever is on the other side, and he's like, confess your sins. And so she starts to confess while Arrow starts fighting her. But the church guy is getting off on this. You hear his pants drop, like this old fucking creepy dude. He's getting on her, talking about the sins that she's thought about, her touching herself and all this stuff. Like, oh, it's fucked. And then while Arrow is still fucking cocky inside her, the priest dude tries to shoot her. He is a silencer. He puts the gun through, but Arrow knows and fucking shoots him or whatever. And then that's when they go on the run and they go to the house. And she's just like, oh, they're trying to kill me. She fucking finally realizes, like, because he doesn't tell her. It's all cryptic.
It makes her figure it out for herself.
Yeah. And so he then like teaches her how to take down the church. Like, he tells her about his past and who he is and shows who he is. He takes off his mask.
Who is he?
He's Callum Westwood's bastard son, so Saint's brother.
Holy shit. Plot twist.
Yeah, so Callum had him out of wedlock to some like stripper or something.
Yes.
And she wanted to keep the child, so he organized a hit on her.
Oh my god.
And on him.
Yeah.
He survived. Then Bryony's, you don't find this out till the end, she doesn't click till right near the end, but Bryony's mum was sleeping with Alistair, that politician that organised the hit, right?
Yep.
She fell pregnant. So the church and Alistair and Callum Westwood organised the death of her mum so they could take the baby, give it to someone else. Yeah. And they used it as a way to get rid of Arrow as well. They framed him. That's why he went to jail. He went to jail for the death of Bryony's mother.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And Bryony doesn't know that part until right near the end. It's all in that envelope that she took for him. Like, it... then they end up going back to frame Saint. They come up with a plan. Bryony comes up with this plan to... she doesn't want to kill him, essentially. She figures out he's in on this. He deserves worse than just dying. She wants to kill Callum Westwood. She wants to kill the deacon. She wants to kill... I don't know what the higher up of the deacon is. I can't remember. But this guy's fucked up. He took Arrow in when Callum didn't want him.
Yeah.
And essentially defiled Arrow for years. Tortured him. Fucking...
They're not good people.
They're awful. That's why he is so fucked up. And why he only likes pain. Because that Pope dude or whatever only showed him loving touches. Yeah. Yep.
That makes my skin crawl.
Yeah, it's fucked. It is so fucked. She wants to kill them all. She doesn't want to kill Saint though. She wants him to suffer.
Yeah.
She wants him to see their deaths and not be able to become a deacon because he is ruined.
Yeah.
So she formulates this plan to essentially entice him into sleeping with her because, you know, if you sleep with someone, it's a sin. You can't become a deacon.
Yep.
You know, you've got to have that, whatever. So she goes back to the school. She says, you know, it wasn't her. who leaked the video. She's distraught. She puts on the victim, like, please don't leave me alone. Please come to my house after school. Like, I can't be alone right now. I've got no one.
Mm-hmm.
So he does. And he obviously, like, even though he wants to destroy her, he still wants to fuck her.
Yep.
He goes over and Arrow is there. And he essentially holds a gun to Saint's head and is, because Saint, the plan doesn't work. He doesn't give in.
Yeah.
They're trying to like film him taking advantage of Bridie and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So Arrow gets the gun and is like, fuck her.
Holy shit.
And he does.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And then Bridie's brother shows up while this is happening, throws Saint off her, like, how dare you defile my sister, like, laying it into him, doesn't notice Arrow in the corner.
With the gun.
Then Callum Westwood comes in with his goonies, like, to the brother and everyone, you saw nothing. And the brother's just like, no, he defiled my sister. And he's just like, no, you saw nothing, son. I think you're mistaken. It was all this madman, pointing to Arrow, trying to frame Arrow. And
Doesn't realise there's a camera going.
yeah, they end up taking Arrow to an undisclosed location.
Mm-hmm.
The Goonies stay behind with Bryony and her brother, and they're like, how do we get out of this? The brother's clued on that this isn't right, like there's something more sinister going on. They formulate a plan. Arrow gets taken to the nightclub. Everyone thinks that his mate that owns that nightclub has turned against him and now works for the Westwoods. They take him there, they torture him, they bring in the Pope that tortured him in his past, and he starts torturing him again. Like,
That's fucked up.
fucked. And then, you know, everyone's there. Callum, Alistair and Saint are all there watching on, like, ha 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 ha. Then they bring in a girl, thinking it's a stripper, in a schoolgirl uniform with a wig that looks like Bryony, but it's not, it's a stripper. And she starts dancing on the pole or something. It's Bryony. Fuck this bitch. She like stabs Saint in the hands, like Jesus, onto a table. She knocks his in on it. He didn't actually turn sides. He has his gun pointed on everyone else. He had taken all the bullets out of the guns of Alistair and Callum and all the Goonies. So they're all like,
Defenseless.
They set Arrow free. Bryony kills the Pope, kills, I think she lets Arrow kill his father. That's when Saint shows his true colours, and he's just like, he lied to you, Bryony, don't kill me, he lied to you. To Arrow, he knows who your father is, blah 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 blah. And she's just like, I already know, I read the envelope, Alistair's my dad. And she kills Alistair. They end up releasing the footage of Saint fucking her.
Ooh, yep.
So everything's lost for him. He lives, but he's got the reminders of what happened. And they go on an adventure to go find her parents, to go kill them, because they're on a mission in Africa, conveniently, when there was a hit put on their daughter.
Yep.
And that's like the end of the book, essentially.
Holy shit. What a fucking ride.
But there is so many things in there, like, so many things happen. I can't even process, like, even now, I feel like that meme with the guy and the
strings
board,
and pointing,
like,
and this happens and then that.
The mail. When we talk about the mail, please, Mac, I'm dying to talk about the mail for you all day, okay? Pepe Sylvia, this name keeps coming up over and over again every day. Pepe's mail's getting sent back to me. Pepe Sylvia, Pepe Sylvia. Listen, no, this whole box is Pepe Sylvia.
there's a few things that he says to her. He refuses to love her. He's, all this pain, love is just a construct. It's just what people use to weaponize against other people, essentially. So he says things like, don't tell me you love me because I'll never say it back to you. What we have together isn't definable by a word created by another man. No combination of letters or formulated language can encompass the magnitude of our tragedies, our pain, our euphoria. Love is beneath us.
Well?
You are the fire that burns stagnant, the coals and ash yearning for the chance to ignite, ready to burn cities to the ground in your fierceness, a force more powerful than any man that came before you. You are my fucking existence, Bryony. I live and breathe for you alone. I am yours entirely at your mercy. I'd bleed out for you, Bryony. I'd fucking kill anyone so you could live. I'd kill you if I needed to, just to follow you to your grave so you can know the depths to which I'd fall, to show I couldn't fucking survive without you. I'd sabotage every aspect of your privileged, fake little life until you realized you're only your best self with me by your side. I'd never stop. There's another one.
Holy shit. This is like twisted.
Like,
but beautiful.
It's beautifully written. It is fucking beautiful.
I know we said we were going to go into Haunting Adeline next, but I may have to take a detour down That Sik Luv.
Yeah, like reading the reviews on this as well, everyone's just like, there's no way that Arrow was better than Zaid. Zaid is, you know, king. I loved Zaid. I loved Haunting of Adeline, but this book is beautiful.
Okay.
Arrow is beautiful. He is fucked up, and there's so many fucked up things, but it is beautiful.
I feel like listening to you talk about it, I'm conflicted towards how to feel because obviously I'm getting this secondhand experience, but I can see the like emotion on your face as you're talking to me about like not just like the fucked up scenes and events that happen in the book that make you kind of
It's just
all right.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna have to read it and then
please
compare notes with you between reading That Sik Luv and listening to That Sik Luv.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you said everything you wanted to say?
I think so. I could keep going, but I'm gonna stop. just please read this book. Listen to this book. Show love to Jescie Hall because it is beautifully written. Literally, because I'd love to discuss this even further. It is shook my whole world.
For the non-edited people listening or watching right now, we've been going on for an hour and a half.
Yeah. Hi.
So yeah, reach out to us on TikTok, reach out to us on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, however you absorb your podcast media. We're at On Her Bookshelf, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.